Good morning, you sidewinders. Good morning, YouTube. Deep breath. Note to self, don't lose your shit. All right, question for you guys out there. You fellas that have dealt with your parents getting older, whether it be a father or a grandfather, to be more specific. Note to self, take note of that. If you've dealt with them for what I'm about to tell you or say or ask you. Note to self, when your time comes, don't be that way. Don't be that way. And you're probably saying, well, what are you talking about, Red? I'm talking about when it comes time to let go of shit. When it comes time to just call it a day and say, you know, my time is up. I don't mean lay there and die. I'm just saying, just know when to let go of certain things. Let go of certain freedoms, or let go of certain things that you enjoy doing, like shooting. Now, some of you may argue and say, Red, come on now. If you can shoot and you can hold a gun and load a gun and maintain it, you should be able to exercise that. And to some degree, I do agree, and let me explain. My grandfather has told me, we've gone, me and him have actually gone hunting, or I've taken him hunting the last several years, 6-7 years, maybe longer. I mean, really gone, right? When I was younger, I don't remember many camping trips with them, with my grandmother and grandfather. They did raise me. I was either at my cousin's house, or I just didn't have any interest, like most kids. You just tend to, you know, it just doesn't interest you, especially if you're not the one hunting, right? It's just like if you're watching somebody else shooting, that's not necessarily fun to you, right? You want to be the one doing that. So the last several years he's been telling me, the last several years I've been taking him, right? Kind of being his caddy to his, you know, like a golfer. I've been his chauffeur, sort of say. And the actual last 3 years, he told me, I think this is going to be it, right? And I'm like, okay, well, you know, if this is it, this is it. Meaning, this is the last time I'm going to come hunt, because, you know, I finally got my deer. And a year goes by. Are you ready to go back to West Texas? Okay, yeah, let's go. Same thing happens again. I guess this is going to be my last year. This is going to be it. Okay, fine. We pack up, we leave. He talks about it the whole trip home. Oh, I wish I would have got a deer. I wish I would have got a deer. Next year, gets a deer. What does he say? I think this is it. This gonna be it. I'm gonna hang it up after this. Okay, fine, right? I tell my wife all this, and she's like, yeah, right. I don't believe you and Grandpa. So I told my wife this year, I said, you know what? This year coming up, I'm not taking him this year. He told me the last 3 years, that was it. That was it. This last year was definitely it. He's 89 years old now, guys. By the time we get out to West Texas at the end of the year, when deer season kicks in again for this area, or the area that I take him to go hunt, he'll be already close to 90 if he survives that long, God willing. I want my grandfather to live a long time still. But he'll be 3 months shy from turning 90 if he makes it that long, and I end up taking him. He'll be almost 90 years old hunting. It's work, guys. It's work to get him prepared, get him packed, get him there, get him to the stand, get him situated, carry all his gear. make sure he's okay, make sure he takes his medicines, yada, yada, yada. On and on and on. I can go through a whole laundry list of things. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is all the work that goes involved. At some point, you have to let it go, right? I want him to let it go on his own, on his terms, on his way. You know, like Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. Okay, you did it your way. My grandfather's hunt his whole life. He's had plenty of experiences, plenty of hunting, plenty of shooting, plenty of, you know, that buck or that deer in his lifetime. He's more than outlived a lot of family members. He's more than experienced everything that he wanted to do. I'm gonna end this video here soon. Just hang in there with me. So my point is, I want him to let go. So it came up in conversation the other day, and he's like, well, he goes, and he looked at me, right? He goes, are you gonna go hunting this year? And I'm like thinking, I don't go hunting for deer, because he's the one that occupies a stand. Now I can switch out with him, sure, but that's just taking time and a day that we're out there from him hunting if I take his stand. Now there's other places I can set up, but not like the one he has, which is really nice compared to the others that are out there. And we're only out there for 3 to 4 days, and after that it's like it's just time to come back home, right? But rather than him approach it and say, hey, look, I'm done, I'm not gonna go hunting anymore, it's your time, son, your time, Red, grandson, I want you to do this. And all these rifles here that I have that I told you I'm gonna give you, they're yours now. They're yours to keep. You do with what you want with them. If you want to trade a few, sell a few, and get you something different that you really want, they're yours. Because my time is up. Now it's just time for me to enjoy and watch you sport, watch you go hunt, see if you can get something. But he hasn't done that. It's like he wants that last hunt, that last thing, and I'm like, I guess it's like a fighter, you know, like those fighters that the UFC or boxer fight, they want that one last fight, just right, that one more glory. They want to see if they can do it. But when is it enough? You have to know when to let go. You have to know when to fold them. You have to know when to hold them, like Kenny Rogers says. Don't make somebody else, or don't put somebody in that position that they take your keys away from you from driving. I know some of you older guys out there probably see it differently, because that next chapter is going to be you, and you're thinking, well, I see your grandfather's point, Red, but you also have to see my point. You don't have to like it, you don't have to agree, but if you're in my shoes and you're taking care of your dad or your grandfather, who's 89 years old, who will hit close to 90 by the time we go out there and hunt again at the end of the year, that's a lot. And even you have to use common sense and say, you know, you're right, Red. As much as I hate to agree with you, you're right. And I find myself looking in the mirror and thinking, you know, my shooting time is coming to an end. Now, I will say this. Do I think I should take all his guns away from him? No. I want him to keep those guns there at his house. I have them locked up in a big safe. He has one or two, he actually has two or three pistols laying around that he can protect himself with. I want him to be able to say, hey, if an intruder comes in, I can have access to a gun. I'm all for that. Two-way all the way, right? But at some point, there's just some activities you need to let go. You need to learn to let go. And I know a lot of guys out there try to live their glory days all over again and try to, you know, relive their youth or their moments, or like just that one more time. I just want that one more time. And that one more time has to come to an end. Even for me, there will come a time that I just have to say, you know what? I'm going to keep my guns, but I'm not going to go shoot as much, right? Or when it's time for me to say, you know what, that's it. I'll keep one or two, and then I'll pass one or two on to my grandsons or my grandson, whichever one gets into it. At some point in your life, guys, all you guys out there, you have to let it go. You have to pass on the torch. Pass it on to the new generation. And I think that is the problem with the gun community, is that we hold on to our guns and we hold on to this idea, and we don't share that experience with the next generation. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Red out. Oh, I'm gonna go have breakfast with my grandfather too, so bye.